As President Jonathan heads for ECOWAS summit, African parliamentarians gather in Johannesburg to begin deliberation on peace and security.
In all our operations, we are ahead and ensure that we maintain humanitarian laws.
Nigerian Army assures Red Cross of equal treatment for victims of counterinsurgency operations. Police headquarters parades ringleaders of cultists in Edo State. Plus, historic bidding of Nigeria's mining assets opens in Abuja. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober. President Goodluck Jonathan will leave Abuja tomorrow, Tuesday, to attend the 47th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Governments in Accra, Ghana. The summit, which coincides with the 40th anniversary of ECOWAS, will receive reports on the current situation in Burkina Faso and Guinea-Bissau, as well as deliberate on issues of democratic consolidation, regional peace and stability. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, indicates that the President will be accompanied by top government officials. Peace, security and trade will be the center of discussions as lawmakers from across Africa converge on the Midland Center in Johannesburg, South Africa, for another exhaustive session of the Pan-African Parliament. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Okafor reports that parliamentarians in the continent are seeking to forge partnerships to foster Africa's growth.
This time, it will be the 6th ordinary session of the 3rd Parliament and would yet again be a melting point for ideas and proposals on how to evolve legislations to drive good governance and development in Africa. For 11 days, parliamentarians will delve into issues of regional concerns in the hope of boosting continental solidarity in tackling the challenges inhibiting Africa's development. The meeting would aim to build on the momentum of the last session and drive the agenda of an Africa with a common destiny. Issues of gender rights and women empowerment would also be brought to fore as the lawmakers debate the report of the African Union to be presented to the Assembly. The program will climax with recommendations on how to promote regional peace and security and stem the tide of illicit arms flow in Africa. President of the Pan-African Parliament, Bethel Amadi, leads Nigeria's delegation to the Assembly. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
The Northern States Governors Forum says it is poised to reposition itself and chart a common front that will confront the challenges of underdevelopment, poverty and insecurity in its areas. This was after confirming Borno State Governor Alhaji Kashim Shettima as chairman, with the governors of Kogi and Kano states as vice chairman. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
Governor Muazu Babangida Aliyu, who has been the chairman since 2008, confirmed the establishment of Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation. He says the new leadership will continue from where they stopped and ensure more unity among members.
The new leadership will ensure what the Christians refer to as born again, so that the sense of unity and the need for unity will override any other sectional or individual interest.
The new chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum promised to carry along all members. He says unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. Governor Shettima is optimistic on the repositioning of the forum.
I want to assure my colleagues and the good people that we shall strive as a team, as a family, to confront our common challenges, irrespective of differences in political affiliations, religious persuasions, sectional or tribal backgrounds.
What happened in-house here was the coming together of all brothers, governors, with the sole purpose of ensuring that democracy is enthroned within the forum, and then to make sure that the citizens are taken care of and they become the center and focus of the governors, as opposed to politics or politicking.
We are supporting him and 100% will rally around to make sure that we have an impact in the things that will be going on in the next 2 years that he will be there.
The 12 members later left the venue to join others at the Nigeria Governors Forum meeting. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
Nigerian women, under the auspices of Women in Politics Forum, are reminding the incoming APC administration of its promises during the 2015 general election campaigns with regards to gender equity. It was at a media briefing in Abuja. Correspondent Aisha Tuzango Abdullahi has the details.
President and founder Women in Politics Forum, Ebere Efendu, while addressing the media, says their pronouncement is by the recent appointments of the incoming administration, where it failed in its commitments to Nigerian women in terms of equitable representation on its inauguration and transition committees.
The women are viewing this action as indicative of the new government's posture on selection and appointment.
Madam Ebere, however, went down memory lane to remind the president-elect of his promises to Nigerian women on March 19, 2015, in a keynote address at a town hall meeting with professional women in Lagos.
We're asking the president, the APC government, to support their commitment to us, come out fully to say, look, we made this commitment during our campaigns, and this is the time to live up to it. And I'm sure if we have women head the parliament, we are going to have serious development coming into the country.
We are also thinking that, look, those who are competent from among those who are coming and who are ranking members, for instance, competent as well. So such people should be given a nod to be at the leadership of the National Assembly. And that is where Honorable Khadijat Abba Ibrahim stands out.
The group also drew the attention of the incoming government to the statistics published by the Parliamentary Union as at April 2015, where Nigeria was ranked 132nd out of 190 countries that submitted data on percentage of women in Parliament. In Abuja, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
Also, the Civil Society Coalition on Education for All, SACEFA, has challenged the incoming government to make the right to education a reality for all Nigerian children. Franca Uzoma Olua reports that this was at the annual celebration of the Global Action Week campaign on education.
Call to the governments to take responsibility for the unfulfilled promises on education. As the world agrees on new frameworks for education and sustainable development this year, the civil society organizations have placed policy demands on the incoming government in Nigeria to eradicate gaps in access based on poverty, gender, and disability.
If you get education right, agriculture will be right, health system strengthening will be right, every other aspect will be right.
Let's look at, as a country, and also looking at the incoming administration, what are the lapses, what is it that we couldn't achieve in the MDG goal and our IFR goals. We need to make sure that we put up strategies that will ensure that every child has access to quality education.
The organizations are also worried that the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria has increased due to insurgent attacks in the northeast.
The objective for education under the sustainable development goal is very clear: relevant education to all, and that sits squarely within the context of the APC manifesto, which recognizes improving access.
The theme for this year's Global Action Week is Vote for Education. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olua, NTA News.
About 4,000 refugees and victims of insurgency have arrived in Sokoto and Kebbi states from the Gedam camp in Yobe State. Elhatu Abdullahi was at the Kalambaida IDP camp in Sokoto.
The internally displaced persons started arriving in Sokoto from northeast about 10 days ago. Majority were received at Kalambena Rehabilitation Center, Sokoto, while about 1,800 proceeded to Kebbi State direct from Yobe State. As at the time of compiling this report, about 2,500 victims were received by Sokoto State government, and 80% of the figures are indigenous of Kebbi State, according to NEMA officials. Niger and the Katsina states have one each, while the rest are indigenous of Sokoto and Zamfara states. Representative of the Sokoto State Governor, Sahabi Isagada, assured that government is committed at their welfare before taking them to their various villages. Since the commencement of the arrival of the victims, NEMA officials have been at the Kalambena Rehabilitation Center registering them and providing relief assistance to them.
It's 5 women delivered in this camp, 2 on the road, 3 right here. We have 3 female children and then 2 males. So you can imagine in this kind of condition, 5 deliveries.
Temporary clinic was also set up by the Sokoto State branch of the Nigerian Medical Association and the Doctors Without Border at the camp. Records show that about 600 of the internally displaced persons were treated on various ailments at the clinic, and officials of the World Health Organizations administered vaccines to all the under 5 children in the camp.
Many of them, both the young and the old men and women, come down with severe conjunctivitis, which usually is a condition of the eye associated with discharge and redness of the eye, malaria. A lot of women pregnant have actually been attended to.
Officials of the State Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the operators of the temporary clinic are still on standby at the Columbina Rehabilitation Center, Sokoto, in case of more arrivals. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Nigerian Army has assured the International Committee of the Red Cross that all casualties in counterinsurgency operations will continue to receive equal treatment. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, represented by the Chief of Policy and Plans, Major General Ugo Buzugbe, gave the assurance when the President of the International Committee of the Red Cross visited Army headquarters. Defense correspondent Mohammed Abdul Qadri reports.
That the International Committee of the Red Cross has interfaced with over 100 country armed forces worldwide. And so the committee's visit to the Army headquarters is germane to assessing the level of compliance to international humanitarian laws in and out of the theater of war as contained in the Geneva Convention, to which Nigeria is a signatory.
In all our operations, we have adhered and ensured that we maintain humanitarian laws.
We stand here ready to work with you through some of those difficulties. This needs and makes necessary regular and structured access to detention facilities.
Both parties agreed to work closely to ameliorate the suffering of security personnel affected by counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. The International Committee of the Red Cross is also scaling up arrangements to support the internally displaced persons in Nigeria. From the Army headquarters, Abuja, Mohammed Abdul Qadri, NTA News.
And staying with the military now, continuous reappraisal of military operational tactics and methods of intelligence gathering in order to rise to the demands of 21st century security challenges was highlighted at the 2015 conference of the Deputy Defense Attaches and Librarians training organized by the Defense Intelligence Agency in Abuja. Defense correspondent KG Busari Ahmed reports.
Military intelligence is a discipline that exploits a number of information collection and analysis to provide guidance to commanders in support of decisions. This is conducted at all levels, from tactical to strategic in peacetime, transition period to war, and during the war proper. In any form of warfare, intelligence gathering is of utmost importance, as it is the bedrock of military operations. It is in this regard that the Directorate of Military Intelligence is poised to refocus the activities of Nigeria's defense mission to meet contemporary security challenges.
Their contributions during the interactive session will form a vital part of the agency's feedback to government with regards to repositioning our efforts to combating contemporary security challenges. Adequate security depends on intelligence.
The Chief of Defense Intelligence, Rear Admiral Okoye, also challenged the Deputy Defense Attaché to provide actionable intelligence that will help in decision-making, especially at this period of security challenge confronting the country. In Abuja, KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
Solid minerals exploration in Nigeria received a boost with the first real bidding for the nation's mining assets. It was at the public bid opening for the concession of a railway mining area located in Kano. Correspondent Moplang Dakok has the report.
Solid mineral resources in Nigeria over the years have been underexploited and explored for the socio-economic development of the country and to augment revenue generation from petroleum. It is to this end that the bid for the concession of the Ririwai underground mining complex in Kano took place in Abuja 2 years after the federal government made a move for the bid.
This process cannot be abused because the investor is bringing in money immediately. And if he brings in money immediately, he will make sure that he quickly starts exploitation to get back his money. And therefore there will be development. In fact, this process is the most common process in all countries in the world at the moment.
We are going to provide a lot of employment for Nigerians as the preferred bidder to that mines. And apart from employment, there are other opportunities that also will come up. We're also giving opportunities to people to supply us with raw materials as well.
Stakeholders from the nation's mineral sector called on the government to ensure equitable distribution of proceeds from mining activities and protect the environment from degradation. The preferred bidder, an Indian company, will likely commence mining activities soon after winning the bid for $5 million. Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
8 children with active symptoms of lead poisoning and 4 of their parents from 2 settlements in Rafi local government area of Niger State have been evacuated to Anka, Zamfara State for treatment. Dauda Mohammed, just back from the area, reports that crushing and grinding of rocks in the area and its adjoining communities is no longer a good deal.
Mila Ibrahim has the most severe symptoms of lead poisoning among the 8 children being transported to Anka, Zamfara State. Her father, Ibrahim Galadima, a farmer with 4 wives, said he lost 6 of his children in the last 6 months, while 4 of the children being transported are his. Dauda Suleiman, another farmer, lost an 8-month-old baby and has 2 children among those being evacuated over the illness the community first thought was caused by spirits, until most of the livestock, including chickens and dogs, all died in the 2 communities. Based on the line list from the health workers who visited the communities, 65 persons were affected, with 28 dead, mostly children from 0 to 10 years old. Village head of Shekara, Nuhu Megero, who decried the wrong reports being aired over the incident, said the problem started around the month of September last year, but it was only recently that the cause was identified. The 2 communities, which are mostly farmers and hunters, abandoned their age-old professions when they witnessed an influx of people who came to mine in their communities.
There are several mining shafts at the double mining site where artisans go beneath the surface, oblivious to the dangerous hazards they might face under there, to get rocks before being taken for crushing where gold is being extracted.
After the rocks are brought in from the mines, they are crushed and grinded before washing to separate the gold from other metals, the process which has caused the poisoning in the communities because of the high content of lead in the rocks. Crushing and grinding has been stopped, a situation that Ibrahim Nu, a youth in the area, says has increased the rate of crime in the 2 communities.
The choice is very clear. It's either we stop it or we allow our younger ones to die. And by the time we allow our younger ones to die, it means there is going to be generation gap. That is going to be serious for our society. So the youth have to make sacrifice and look another way around. The council will try to empower them with farm implements so that they can be able to forget about this mining and go back to farm.
Other communities where grinding and washing are taking place are Pondogari, also in Rafi local government area of Niger State, and Bindungwari in Kaduna State, though no case of lead poisoning has been reported. In Kagara, Rafi local government area of Niger State, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Well, the recurring cases of lead poisoning, which recently resulted in the deaths of 28 children in Niger State, has been attributed to the illegal operations of artisanal and small-scale miners. The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Musa Mohammed Sada, and other discussants on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria say aggressive enlightenment in rural communities and the hazards of unprofessional exploration of Nigeria's minerals will check the problem. Amina Nujem has the details.
The first major case of lead poisoning from illegal mining was reported in Zamfara State in 2010, killing 400 persons in 43 villages. The latest is in Niger State, with 65 cases of lead poisoning with 28 deaths. The process of containing the situation is underway with an assessment visit and containment by environmental and medical experts.
Sometime this week, hopefully, we should be at site
to really determine the extent of contamination using, the XRF device, which is, a device that can instantly tell you, the level of lead, contamination. And we've evacuated about 8 now that are really showing signs and symptoms to Anchor, Zamfara State, where, as you know, doctors and brothers are managing cases of lead poisoning. So that has calmed down the situation in Niger State. We identified the most dangerous step in mining, or the processing, and removed it out of the society. Those are the milling machines. We removed them out of society and banned further milling and processing in town. We have local radio programs, jingles that telling them about what is right and what is wrong. Our own understanding is that gap is poverty, and people are trying to eke out a living, so the intervention have to come at a different level if we have to succeed in eliminating this.
The Minister of Mines and Steel Development say, with improved funding and current reforms, the recurring incident is being checked. Educating and improving the living conditions of rural dwellers who mostly engage in the hazardous practice remains key in checking further occurrences. In Abuja, Amina Nujain.
President Goodluck Jonathan has approved the appointment of Mrs. Uju Aisha Hassan Baba as the new Executive Secretary, Chief Executive of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC. Mrs. Hassan Baba takes over from Mrs. Saratu Altine Umar, who has been relieved of her appointment as Executive Secretary, Chief Executive of the NIPC with immediate effect. The new Executive Secretary and Chief Executive had served previously as Director General, Legal Aid Council of Nigeria, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Anambra State, and Director, Legal Services, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, says President Jonathan thanked the former Chief Executive, Mrs. Umar, for her services and wished her well in her future endeavors. Nigeria does stock taking as it joins in celebrating World Telecommunications Day. We'll bring you those reports after these messages.
There was a time when all you needed to attain the right altitude was the right attitude. But today, you need more than attitude. You need aptitude. Aptitude is knowing there's an app for everything, and that the smarter, faster way of doing anything is simply to download an app for it. Afterwards, all you do is click and click. No need to type www. So download as many apps as you want, free for 1 month. After all, it's the MTN Free App Download Month. Text APP to 131 to get started. Valid from May 1st to May 31st, 2015. Aptitude is the new attitude.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Discover the liquid freshness of Center Fresh chewing gum that you feel. And others too. Center Fresh. Trust the freshness.
My father said opportunity knocks every minute. He used to say to me that even the rising sun is an opportunity. A man must give each day everything. I live by those words. Just 1 minute of one day can change everything. Every day he stepped out with the belief that today might just be that day.
At FCMB, we believe every day is a new opportunity. Let's help you step forward and take it. FCMB, My Bank and I.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the Hypo treatment to brighten and also kill germs, so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
After a dry night in Pampers, babies can achieve so many things. Introducing new and improved Pampers for a dry and comfortable night of sleep, thanks to our new stretchy sides and super gel that absorbs and locks in wetness better than other diapers. So your baby starts the day dry, making every morning one to be proud of. New Baby Dry. Dryness guaranteed or your money back.
This is to inform the public that the attention of the Federal Ministry of Environment has been drawn to the unlawful issuance of environmental assessment certificates and related permits. The Federal Ministry of Environment wishes the public to note that only certificates or permits issued by the Honorable Minister and Permanent Secretary are valid. They are the only authorized signatories to environmental assessment certificates or permits. Therefore, all requests for environmental impact assessment must be channeled through the office of the Honorable Minister, and all payments should be made in favor of the ministry to its designated accounts. Finally, the authenticity of certificates and permits already issued should be verified from the office of the Permanent Secretary. Nana Fatima Mehdi, Permanent Secretary, announcer.
A hectic lifestyle or overeating can cause a burning pain in your chest. That's heartburn. Take Gaviscon. One dose relieves in 3 minutes to soothe the pain of heartburn. It goes straight to the source to work for hours, providing long-lasting relief.
That's why I recommend Gaviscon.
I recommend Gaviscon. Gaviscon, fast relief you can actually feel.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
The Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, hereby notifies all unverified police pensioners who retired on or before June 30th, 2007, and their next of kin that their names have been removed from PTAD payroll due to their non-participation in its just concluded nationwide verification exercise. The police pensioners dropped from the payroll will only be reinstated after they have been duly verified and their biometrics captured. To this end, PTAD is organizing a verification exercise from Monday 25th May to Monday 1st June at Upon House, number 7, OP Fingesi Street, Utako, Abuja, from 9 a.m. daily. This is the last chance call for all unverified police pensioners to come out and be captured. See Daily Trust and Daily Sun of Wednesday, May 20th, 2015 for details. Management announcer.
All over Nigeria, Ariel claims to give us the best stain removal in one wash. So we'll collect tough stains, red sand, fruit juice, which gives the best stain removal in one wash. We'll wash one half of Ariel with the other peanut detergent. With the other peanut detergent remove the stains. And Ariel, best stain removal in Nigeria in one walk.
Still on to police headquarters. 109 persons believed to be members of deadly cult groups in Edo State. Just as the governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayushi, visited the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arasi, to complain formally that his state has been invaded by kidnappers. Bonaventure Wodo reports.
The membership of the court cuts across students and artisans, civil servants, businessmen and public office holders, and professionals in other areas of life. They belong to different confraternities, including Black Ass Confraternity, Buccaneers, Ear Confraternity, Jurists, and Norsemen Confraternities.
let it be restated that Nigerian police will deploy all non-legal means to rid our society of crime. In so doing, and as the law is not a respecter of persons, no suspect, no matter how many plays, will be spared.
Force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Ojukwu said items recovered from them include ATM cards, international passport, stunt guns, and booklets of 48 laws of power. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has reassured Ekiti State's Governor Ayof Ayoshe that the police has raised a special squad to deal with issues of cultism and kidnappers in the state.
We are carrying out a holistic operations to ensure that we are able to sanitize those areas. I can assure you we are going to do it. The people of Ekiti should be rest assured that we will not allow anybody to come and give them sleepless nights. This is not a lawless society.
It's encouraging, and I will go back home now and assure my people that the police is not only doing their best, but they assured us that they will handle the matter perfectly.
The suspects, who are leaders of court confraternities, are now being interrogated for their conspiratorial involvement in the murder of 10 Nigerians, including Ojo Aye Adu, 55, and Constance Iyola, 23, an apprentice decorator. In Abuja, Bonaventure Wood, NTA News.
In the meantime, men of the Imo State Police Command have arrested a gang of kidnappers who abducted the Reverend Father of Uzuagba Catholic Church in area of Imo State. Correspondent Ngozi Buchulam reports that the gang is one of the notorious groups that terrorize people in the state.
Speaking to newsmen, the PPRO, Mr. Andrew Nwere, said the police got a tip-off and swung into action.
And on getting to a particular point where they were, lodged, the citing that they are operatives, they opened fire on operatives.
He added that his men chased the kidnappers to a hotel in Abia State, who, on sighting the policemen, jumped into a nearby bush. Mr. Nwerem also said that 2 of the gang members lost their lives, while police was able to recover the Nissan Juke car which the kidnappers collected from the Reverend Father. He gave the names of some of the kidnappers as Obimba and Celeste Nema from Oroto in Mbitolu local government area of Imo State, Frank Uche and Iba Uchi Uzo. 2 other members of the gang are now helping the police with more information.
After the gun duel between the kidnappers and the operatives, 2 of the suspects were humbled by the superior firepower of the police. We have in our hand here 4 suspects so far arrested in connection with the kidnap of the Reverend Father.
Mr. Nwerem, while appealing to the public for information that would aid the duties of the police, warned criminals to stay clear of Imo State and its environs. From Owerri, Ngozi Buchulam, NTA News.
Nigerian tertiary health institutions have benefited from 12 units of life support ambulances donated by the Chinese government to strengthen capacity in the post-Ebola containment plan. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria presented the vehicles. Fatima Aliu reports.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, Linus Awuti, received the vehicles on behalf of the minister. The fully kitted life support ambulances will also help the benefiting federal teaching hospitals and medical centers across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to save more lives, especially accident victims, promptly due to their strategic locations. Though Ebola, the hemorrhage disease, which has claimed over 11,000 lives across the globe, has long been eradicated in Nigeria, the fact that it is still prevalent in the West African sub-region calls for concerted efforts to re-strategize against its spread.
We applaud the efforts by the government of Nigeria and the people to contain Ebola. And also, we are very appreciative of the efforts by the Nigerian government to lend support to other Ebola-affected countries.
It's a classical example of a working. We have never found the Chinese wanting in
the job demands of partnership.
Other benefiting institutions and agencies are Control, Ministry of Health, and Force. In Abuja, Fatima Ali, NTA News.
And staying with health now, the Health Reform Foundation of Nigeria is collaborating with the orientation agency in building capacity towards improving primary health care delivery in Nigeria. Azomta Nwegule was at the opening two-day workshop on media engagement in Abuja.
Promoting primary health care awareness among Nigerians through partnership with the National Orientation Agency, the of HEFON, Dr. says, is standing on their existing routes to channel health issues through the media to reach 775 local governments. Giving
taking
staff across the countries for media on Nwebule.
Before the following the allegation that had withdrawn the case, suffered a setback after the petitioner denied such an act. Correspondent Ali Tukur has the details.
The patient, who hails from Benin City, had earlier petitioned the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria that the said doctor was negligent to his surgery responsibility on him following a gunshot wound which resulted to amputation of his right leg. Among the 14 doctors whose cases were arraigned before the Tribunal for Professional Misconduct is Dr. Aliu Zakari's case, medical doctor to the ailing Taraba State Governor Ambaba Suntei. Dr. Zakari's case, who is facing one count charge of divulging information on the health status of the governor to newsmen, could not go on as the prosecuting counsel pleaded for time to enable them get more evidence. The tribunal, with the status of a high court, has adjourned the cases until 21st July 2015. Adjourning the trials, chairman of the tribunal, Professor Jonathan Azubuke, said the adjournment is to allow the councils get all the needed exhibits to enable the tribunal deliver sound judgment. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
As the world celebrates World Telecommunications Day, the Minister of Communication Technology, Mrs. Omobola Johnson, says Nigeria is right on course as the telecom industry has progressed astronomically since it was liberalized in 2000 as part of the celebration of the day in Abuja. Ruben Okala reports.
This year's celebration with the theme Telecommunications ICTs Drive coincides with the 150th anniversary of the International Telecommunication Union (ITU). The purpose of the day is to raise awareness of the possibilities that the information and communication technology (ICT) can bring to societies and economies, as well as bridge the digital divide in the communities. The Communication Technology Minister says, despite various challenges, the industry has progressed steadily.
Telecommunications is pervasive, and it has improved the lives of our people tremendously. And we believe that as value-added services begin to come into play, it will further open new vistas.
There are about 80 million internet users and over 140 million subscribers to various GSM networks in Nigeria. In Abuja, Ruben Okala, NT News.
We now go over to our Lagos Network Center, where we join Ademola, who will update us on fuel scarcity and other reports making the rounds here. Ademola.
Thank you, Cyril. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, has called on the incoming government of General Muhammadu Buhari to drastically reduce the high cost of running government for rapid social-economic development of the country. This was contained in a communique read by the TUC president at the end of the National Executive Council meeting of the union in Lagos. Ken Egbeluhe has the details.
The TUC National Executive Council in session stressed the need for the incoming government to cut down on political appointments. The president of TUC noted that a situation where lawmakers fix their own salaries and allowances must be discouraged and discontinued. The Congress also deliberated on the wages and payment of workers' salaries. They observed that the minimum wage of 18,000 naira has not been implemented in some states.
It is in the statutes that every 5 years, our national minimum wage is supposed to be reviewed upward.
On the perennial scarcity of petroleum products being experienced in the country, the Congress enjoined the federal government to urgently address the lingering fuel situation as it negatively impacts on all segments of the nation's economy.
It calls on the government to immediately reconvene a stakeholders meeting to address the controversies with the marketers, with a view to urgently resolving the demand and supply deficit. Concrete steps should be taken on the issue of local refining to put a stop to the issue of importation of petroleum products and payment of subsidy.
Other issues discussed include insecurity, pension and gratuity of workers, the anti-corruption war, and the industrial crisis currently rocking the National Identity Management Commission. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
The lingering scarcity of petroleum products being experienced across the country is gradually easing out as most filling stations in Lagos State now have the products available. Ken Egbeluhe again monitored the situation in the state and now brings us an update.
The long queue of vehicles in most filling stations waiting to buy fuel, witnessed several weeks ago, is gradually easing out as the products are now available. A drive through Lagos Metropolis indicates that motorists now drive into filling stations with relative ease as there are no more queues. Some motorcyclists and motorists said there is need for the Department of Petroleum Products to sustain the monitoring of the situation, as some filling stations now sell the product above the approved pump price of 87 naira per litre.
There are many filling stations, they are selling is 110. Some places 120 they are selling.
87 naira then they sell for a year. And again they answer person quick. They are not the delay person.
For other place, they sell at 140, 130, 130.
It's not all of them are selling the normal price. Right now and then some of them are selling it maybe late hour, so other people are selling a black market.
I'm discharging fuel. After discharging now, the people around now, look at the situation now that people around, they are queuing down. So immediately we start discharging fuel, therefore we start our selling. And the normal price is 87 naira.
Residents and motorists are of the opinion that the respite being experienced today will improve in the days ahead. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
A university don and a renowned literary icon, Professor Niyi Oshundare, said the incoming administration should focus on a knowledge-driven economy for the country. This, he said, can be achieved by appointing the right people that will make the desired change happen. He spoke at Christ School Ado-Ekiti annual distinguished lecture organized by the Lagos branch of the school. Tunde Saiki reports.
The renowned poet, Professor Niyi Oshundare, who titled his lecture, No More Business as Usual, Nigeria's Newfound Change and the Lessons from the Past, took a holistic appraisal of the democratic experiences of Nigeria since independence in 1960. He noted that the present administration's transformation agenda could not achieve much because the drivers were not too committed to the program. Professor Oshundare said this prompted Nigerians to make a change in last general elections. He also sounded a note of warning to the incoming administration.
We Nigerian people have to hold our politicians accountable. If they say change,
We people want to define that change, not that they should define the change for us. We have been taken for granted for so long.
The lecture had in attendance guests drawn from all walks of life. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Say you know say with just 200 naira recharge card, Airtel dey serve me with 200% bonus to yarn more with any network. Relax. In fact, I don't buy your own Airtel SIM now every day. Anytime I recharge 200 naira and above, Smart Connect dey serve me with free internet. Buy your Airtel SIM today.
I need a great deal, the best price I can get. That's why I shop on Jumia.
Quality you can trust. You can count on us. When you shop on Jumia, when the rain shine.
Get authentic Apple products with 1-year warranty from authorized reseller Jumia.com.ng.
Jumia, the online shop you can trust.
Hey, when was the last time you called your mother? Recently, right? But when was the last time you called the rest of your family? Or your friends from school? Now what about the neighbors? The ones you grew up with in your neighborhood? There's a saying, it takes a whole village to raise a child. Which is why, with Easy Life from Etisalat, it's only 11 kobo per second to call over 160 million Nigerians. When you get on Easy Life, you enjoy a flat tariff of 11 kobo per second to all networks with only a 5 naira daily access fee. Because in Niger, we're all one big family. With Easy Life, you can call anyone. Actually, you could call everyone in Niger. Hey, how you doing?
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Everybody hurts. Everybody walks along the lonely road sometimes. Let me take your hand. 'Cause to me your happiness is just as good as mine. And you will be
Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
Chivita Active Fruit Juice, unique quality blend of 6 citrus fruit juices with added vitamin C. It's the perfect choice of refreshment for an active lifestyle. Want to dance? Chivita Active. Be active. Do more. Get more out of life.
House of Chi causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another.
What keeps you so cool, man?
Dettol Cool Menthol protection with added menthol to protect from germs. Cool gives you maximum protection against germs every day from head to toes and an invincible icy feel. For super cool confidence, use Dettol Cool. Maximum protection against germs every day. We love tasty food and drinks. That's why new Oral-B Pro Health with Whitening is specially designed to remove everyday stains and still give you that Oral-B all-round protection. Oral-B Pro Health with Whitening. Healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week. Now with more whitening.
Thanks for staying on. Federal government makes case for innovative ways to generate revenue as falling oil prices continue to take a toll. And the Nigerian Stock Exchange ends the day in the green. Business News is next with Leah Katumba Batunde.
Hello
Hello and welcome to Business News at 9. Now, 10 ships have arrived at Lagos ports with various products. The Nigerian Ports Authority NTA said in Lagos in its daily shipping position on Monday that 4 of the ships arrived with rice, while 6 others brought in bulk gas, petrol and aviation fuel. The NPA also said that it was expecting 15 other ships at the Lagos ports. It stated that the ships were expected to sail into the ports from May 18 to May 29. The NPA said food products including rice, bulk salt and bulk wheat are expected in 5 ships, while general cargo will be brought in 2 ships. And with the continuous decline in oil prices eating deep into the income of the nation, only 282 billion naira was received in April, an amount which was not recorded in the past 2 years. Government has maintained its stance that expenditure should be prioritized to ease the burden on the public. Minister of State for Finance Bashir Yuguda said government at all levels must be innovative in diversifying the economy.
We always advise the state governments on drive for IGR, on drive to prioritize and only do things that is a priority and have positive impact for the people and for their economy.
The minister called for the harmonization of taxes and levies to boost internally generated revenue. He assured that government and the incoming administration would continue to strengthen institutions till the country is able to permanently block leakages and loopholes. And before we go, a quick look at closing figures from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That's business news. The bulletin would continue.
The Corporate Affairs Commission (CSC) has forecast better ranking for Nigeria in the Ease of Doing Business global ranking due to ongoing reforms in the investment sector. Registrar General of the Commission, Bello Mahmoud, while briefing the media, said the compliance threshold of companies would be entitled to incentives to ensure more compliance to set rules of doing business. Here again is Leah Katumba Batunde.
It currently ranks 170 out of 189 countries in the ease of doing business, despite being ranked the biggest economy in Africa. The annual World Bank Group Doing Business report analyzes business regulations that apply to countries, including startup operations, trading across border, paying taxes and resolving insolvency. The Corporate Affairs Commission says it is partnering with relevant bodies and agencies in ensuring Nigerian businesses do not fall short of compliance ratings.
Because what we have done, the next rating is going to bring Nigeria up. Definitely it's going to bring it up because they are saying that they want to see a CSC and they have seen them.
The agency intends to take a step further to improve Nigeria's business fair by awarding outstanding organizations as an incentive to boosting productivity in the country. The initiative seeks to award companies with excellence in financial management, workplace environment, management of stakeholders' relations, innovation, corporate social responsibility, industry leadership, as well as corporate governance. In Abuja, Leah Katumba Batunde, NTA News.
The Museum in National Development. We go over to Ibadan Center for that with Kemi.
Thank you, Cyril. Good evening and welcome to Ibadan. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the 2015 Museum Day, experts have stressed the need for more awareness among Nigerians to boost tourism development in the country. Correspondent Femi Afolabi has the report.
The theme for this year's celebration is Museum for a Sustainable Society. The curator, National Museums Ibadan, Amos Olunipa, said Museums for Society plays roles of raising public awareness about the need for a society that is less wasteful and uses resources in a way that respects living standard.
Those things you are seeing here is from our forefathers bestowed unto us. And therefore, we are the museum professionals, we have to keep them, preserve them, conserve them, protect them, and also market them for now and future generations to come.
The International Museum Day 2015 aims to foster awareness among the whole society about the current consequences of human actions around the world. Are people aware that there are museums around their community?
I knew that there is a museum at Ibadan, but I didn't go there. I used to pass.
The objects in the National Museums in Ibadan are divided into Unity, Masquerades, Pottery, and Yoruba galleries. Museums all over the world should impact the society in so many ways towards self-fulfillment and sustainability.